Hello, and welcome back to another episode of Critical Reactions with your host, Bryan. We're going to continue on with this week's theme of excessive amounts of blank, where songs have an excessive amount of something, anything. Could be time signature changes, could be tempo changes, could be layers. Yesterday we checked out excessive atmosphere. Today I'm a little worried. We're going to be listening to Primitive Man, Scorn. And I was told that the excessiveness would just be something I know when I heard it. I was not explicitly told what the excessive element is in this track. So, I suppose without further ado, let's see what's going on with Primitive Man. So far, I'm only getting an excessive amount of buzz. This is a very distorted track. Very heavy, very weighty. And an emphasis on dissonance as well. And you can almost feel that dissonance is wild. Whoa. So that took a turn. I'm not liking that panning. Very unsettling. Really bringing in this new section hard with the tremolo picking and creating a new texture to this emotion. curious what the time signature or the tempo is here. Primitive Man, Scorn. I did not enjoy this one bit. I don't think there's a single aspect of this that I even enjoyed on any level. Primitive Man, Scorn, work of art. And I mean that. I'm not being pretentious here. Uh, I did do that in a bit of a pretentious manner, but I'm completely serious on this. This is pure art in the sense that it takes a human emotion and explores it almost completely through the auditory element. I'm sure there are going to be people who do listen to this song and find it enjoyable in some situation, or maybe in every situation. Maybe this is their calming, comfy music. When they're trying to calm down before bed, they throw on some Primitive Man. Everybody has different tastes, so I'm not trying to say that it's only for artistic interpretation or artistic purposes, but at least for me, I find it very difficult to listen to, very difficult to sit through, but it does an extremely excellent job of taking an emotion and making it palpable. I could feel some of this. It is man, it is excessive, that's for sure. It is a very thorough exploration of Scorn. And of course Scorn is a an utter lack of respect for someone. However, I think they take it just a hair bit further. Looking at these lyrics, it's not. There is scorn for whoever or whomever they are speaking of, but there's also a lot of hatred. I think the song's lyrics portray an element one step beyond scorn, and I think the music embodies that as well. And it kind of makes me wonder why they called it Scorn instead of uh, seething hatred, which I think fits the tone and the lyrics just a little bit better. Also, interestingly, there is maybe no more than 40 words, 50 words in these lyrics, and they filled up 10, 11 minutes worth of music. So I wonder how often we have a repetition through these lyrics, which brings me into a question of what is the structure of this song? If the lyrics are cyclical and we repeat these 40 words maybe twice, maybe even three times, uh, what does the song structure look like when I couldn't really hear a repetition or a looping or a pattern in that? Do we have a micro loop in the lyrics while we have more of a linear story or linear writing in the music? I don't know. It's very difficult for me to find any unique elements in any of this song. It felt simultaneously hyper repetitious, but I don't think I ever heard a section that sounded identically to one that came before it. There was always at least a minor variation on a section, and I think that was only one time I felt any sort of repetition going on. Oh yeah, I kind of remember them doing something like this before. And I think there was only one time, and I'm pretty sure it had a variation on what was going on musically. So, but vocally, lyrically, I have no idea where any of these words fit. Those lyrics were hidden way behind dissonance upon dissonance upon dissonance. Um, so yeah, I don't know how much I actually have to add to this one theoretically, critically. We're going to see where this goes. I'm just going to do my usual rambling and see if I arrive at more conclusions and keep driving the conversation forward. But I think the song speaks for itself. The lyrics are extremely clear as day, surface level. They speak of a pure, seething hatred and scorn for somebody or somebodies. And the music just embodies that in every sense of it, sonically, tempo, feeling, everything. Every bit of this song is just filled with that sort of emotion. But let's dive into this and see if we can't look at any specifics. So first of all, the production. I think this is the the most important thing that people are going to notice immediately. It is sort of lo-fi, but not hyper lo-fi like lo-fi black metal is. But it certainly is not a clear production either. It kind of works into that post-metal wall of sound kind of feeling where there is just so much dissonance, so much crunch, so much compression put on everything that the main timbres, the actual timbres of the vocals, the guitars, all of it is hidden under this crackle. It's actually removed and ripped out of the sound and replaced with this crackling. And that is everywhere in this song. There isn't a moment of this song that isn't filled with that compression, that dissonance. Sorry, not the compression, the crackling, distortion. That's the word I'm looking for. Not dissonance, distortion. It's on every instrument. I'm sure it's even on the drums. It just might not be uh, as prominent, which means that the vocals and the guitars drown it out. But I would not be surprised if I found an isolated stem of the drums and there's compression put on them. It would just fit what's going on. And I think that really creates this bubbling on top of everything. Like it's like this crackling, but also to me it feels kind of bubbly because the song ends up feeling very thick, like tar. Every part of the song, other than that one moment where we had maybe 8 bars of that double time tempo early on in the track, maybe 2 minutes in. Everything else is just this sludge, this tar, and yeah, it's like this popping and bubbling on top, like a tar pit, right? And yeah, I don't think that would have been accomplished without having that extreme destruction of the audio in everything, the vocals, the drums, the guitars, just having that crackling overhead really just makes everything sound like it's festering and popping. It is just it's this texture that is just really gross. And it's really interesting because it's not like this is the first song we've seen that has a ton of compression in it that creates sonic distortions. But it's got to be paired with the tempo or the weight or just maybe me knowing what the lyrics are. But yeah, it turns that sound into something palpable, and it is just it's interesting. It's artistic, and I mean, this is what I'm talking about when I came up at the beginning and said that this is art. Um, they found ways to mix senses. I heard a song, but I also felt a lot throughout. You can also look into the vocal delivery. First of all, I mentioned the vocals have distortion on distortion on distortion. It sounds like the dude's growling. So we already have some compression and distortion from the body, from the actual creation of these tones. But there's also compression and distortion added after the fact on top of it. And that just amplifies it, and it makes the word sound harsher, and that harshness mixed with the lyrics makes it sound angrier, more upset. There's more hatred in these words, and you can begin again to feel this hatred dripping from these lyrics just through their vocal delivery. And then, of course, I think the last part that really ties all this together is just the speed of the song. We go through several iterations of the music. It feels like every time we go to a new one, it gets slower and slower and slower until the very end of the song when it is just, I mentioned what tempo even is this? I felt like I was counting it in double time, and that was still slow. All right, I'm like 1, 2, 3, and I'm like, am I subdividing here? Because I'm only getting the snare like once every 8 beats. If the snare is hitting on 3 of every bar, I'm in double time. The tempo is actually half of what I'm doing. Um, just how slow did they go? But this constant degradation of the tempo ties into that element of tar, of sludge, of this hatred being some of the most vile, darkest aspects of man. And I don't know, man. I love it. It's a beautiful, disgusting work of art that explores what it means to unconditionally hate something or someone or a group of someone's, and just taking that raw, passionate rage and disdain and packaging it into a sonic sound. All sounds are sonic. And delivering it into people's ear holes is just, I mean, I don't know. This song's on another level. It is excessive in a lot of areas. I do feel like it goes on way too long. It drastically overstays its welcome, but I also understand that I think the effect would be lessened if it was a shorter track. I think the fact that it revels in this and continues to get more disgusting, less pretty, more ugly, I think. It doesn't really start out pretty. It gets more ugly, more disgusting, more crackling, more tar-like, more slow. Just all of these negative concepts embodied into this. I think it does a fantastic job, not just of showcasing the emotion, but also the destructiveness of it, and why this sort of level of scorn and disdain, hatred, it rots people. You can't sit in this emotion for an extended period of time. It eats you from the inside out. It is a destructive mindset, and the song does a great job of showcasing that. I don't know if that's what they intended to do. There's certainly nothing in the lyrics that show that they're subverting this concept of hatred and showing how it would eat somebody alive. In fact, the lyrics seem to be kind of boosting that feeling up, reveling in it. It's not really condoning it or condemning it. It's just kind of reveling in it. But I kind of feel like I have to see that subversion in the music, just because this isn't something that I would ever want to praise and hold up. But the nice thing about art is that we can explore some of these darker ideas safely. So, like I said, to me, this is art. Nothing I'd ever want to listen to again. I did not enjoy my time with it now, but I'm really glad it exists, and I think it's a fantastic look into the way music can cross senses and also explore the human condition. So, yeah, fantastic track. I never want to hear it again. This for you guys. Come in, hit me up in the comments. Let me know what you thought of Primitive Man's Scorn. Let me know if you agree with me that it's art. Maybe you don't. Maybe you disagree. Maybe you think it's the worst thing you've ever heard and you don't think anybody should ever listen to it. I don't know. Let me know what your opinions are. Above the comment section, there's a description box, and there's a link for Linktree. It'll take you to this menu right here. You can buy some merch. You can follow me on Twitter. You can join the Patreon and help support the channel. You can submit special selections, join the Discord community, and chat with fellow music aficionados and music lovers. All sorts of stuff. There's a bunch of links in there. Go ahead and check them out. Above the description box, if you could, like, subscribe, and ring the bell. We got one more video coming out in a minute and a half. It'll be our special selection for today. Otherwise, I'll be back tomorrow, 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, 10 p.m. UTC, as usual. We'll be looking at another excessive amount of and our final special selection of the week. Until next time, remember to be critical but not cynical of the music you listen to, and have a fantastic morning, afternoon, or evening whenever you choose to watch my videos.